Hi there, this is Jacob Nash, Precalculus Lessons, and this is Unit 4, Lesson 3 on reference angles. So we did coterminal angles, and in Lesson 1 we did some basics, but now what are reference angles? So these are angles that are 0 to 90 degrees and positive. So they're the angles that you would think of as typical, like ones that you might see in elementary school, but they just help you. It's good to know this because when you actually do trigonometry, we'll do that in some later videos, but it's important to know how to find these. Sometimes the angle that's given already is the right angle if it is 0 to 90 degrees and positive. So remember your quadrants. If you don't already know them, these are your quadrants. The one over here is 1, then 2, then 3, then 4, and they make a C. If that helps you remember it, counterclockwise at least. So here's a little table showing you how to find the reference angles based on where the angle is. It's in quadrant 1, it is the angle. It's in quadrant 2, you see what it says. But keep in mind, I put an absolute value because sometimes if you have a negative angle, then that changes things. So you got to make sure that you make everything positive. So we have two angles, and we're going to first graph it, then find the coterminal, and then reference it. But the coterminal angle has to be one between 500 and 1000. So number 1 says 221 degrees, okay? So let's graph it first. So if it's assuming it's in standard position, the initial side starts here. Zoom this in a little bit. This would be 90 degrees. This would be 180 degrees. This would be 270 degrees. So it's in between 180 and 270 degrees. So the other side of the angle is going to have to be right there. Is it closer to 180 or 270? A little bit closer to 180, but mostly kind of in the middle. So it's going to be like that. And since it's positive, counterclockwise angle. So that was pretty simple. Now, coterminal angle. The coterminal angle, there could be more than one. In this case, yes, but it has to be in between 500 and 1000. So 221 is not in that. So we're going to have to add 360. So 221. So I'll just go ahead and say coterminal angle. 221 plus 360 is 581. That is in between 500 and 1000. 581 plus 360 is 941. That's between 500 and 1000. But if you added 220 or 360 again, that wouldn't work. That would be greater than 1000. So these are the only coterminal angles that there are. Now the reference angle. Where is your terminal angle side? It is in quadrant 1, 2. Okay, that's not working. I'm trying to draw the quadrants, but of course it's delayed. It's in 3. So we look up here, we have to do angle minus 180, but it has to be positive. So the angle minus 180, but the angle measure, we have to make it positive if it isn't already, and make the whole thing positive when you subtract it. The angle is positive already, 221. 221 minus 180, that's going to be a positive number, so we don't really have to worry about the absolute value right now. 221 minus 180 is 41 degrees. Forgot to put our degrees thing on there. So our reference angle is 41 degrees. Okay. All right, next one. This one's a little bit harder. 265, negative 265.363. That's a little bit hard to graph, but that's okay. It's actually going to be close to last time, but it's negative this time. So assuming standard position, that's where the initial side is. The terminal side is what we're trying to figure out. But this time, this would be 90 degrees because it's negative. This would be 180. This would be 270. And it's real close to 270, isn't it? So let's do this. We have a clockwise angle, and that would be negative. So that's good. So that's what we graphed. Okay. Now, coterminal angle. If this thing would draw, we have to figure out all of them between 500 and 1,000. But well, we can just keep adding 360 until we get a number close to in between 500 and 1,000. Let's just round to 265 to make things simple. 265 plus 360, that's 95, so that's not in between 500 and 1,000, so keep going. 455 doesn't work. 815 does work. 1175 doesn't work. So there's only one for this. 815 degrees. Reference angle. We need to do, this time it's in quadrant 2, the terminal side is. I should have specified that in the table. That's for the terminal. And when we do that, we have to do 180 minus the angle. So not the angle minus 180, but 180 minus the angle. And everything has to be positive. So 180 minus the angle must be positive. 180 minus the angle also must be positive. So 180 minus, since it's negative 265.363, let's make it positive. So we're going to do minus 265.363. Since we're taking the absolute value of that, and then make it positive. And 180 minus, 180 minus 265.363 is negative 85.363. But we take the absolute value of that, and that would be positive 85.363, and there we go. Just now caught up. So that is what our reference angle is. If you want to round, let's just say 85 degrees. And that is reference angles, even though we've reviewed some other things. So that'll be it for this video. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.